Hi guys, it's April and we are back at coloring the reflection of the Little Mermaid today. I pulled out all the same colors we used for the hair on this section. I'll be honest, I don't quite remember the order I did things in, but I can take a good stab at it. And if not, as long as I make it look somewhat similar, I think we'll be okay. Um, let's see. Going to kind of fudge these around a bit. Yeah, okay. So I've got the Polychromos 176, which is the Van Dyke brown. I've got the Holbein 365, which is the navy blue. I have the 155 Polychromos, which is the helio turquoise. Then I have the Holbein 288, which is the fur green. And then I have the Polychromos indigo, dark indigo, 157. Hi, friend. Welcome. It's good to see you in the chat. I'm going to start with the brown. And I'm going to hit kind of those areas where I want to start thinking about the shading. What I might do before I get too far is actually, so I don't hurt my brain too much, work upside down. I know that was your suggestion last time when I was getting to some of those corners, but I think it'll be perfect for this time around so that I can get those highlights and shadings in just the right spot. And kind of like that. There we go. Zoom in a touch. Okay, back to the brown. And as always, I'll be starting a little bit lighter with the colors and then darkening it all up as I go. And it is going to be a little bit different this direction simply because I do have that watercolor base. That's already kind of given me a place to start. Okay, so I've got the brown in as a base. I'm going to come in with the Holbein 365. Bring that all a little bit further. And it's okay if the reflection version of her ends up looking a little bit murky. We are seeing that reflection in a darker bit of water. So by the end of this, it might not be as crystal clear as it's starting out. Now I've got 155 with Polychromos, and I'm going to come in and hit pretty much everything. Because this is my lightest color. I'm trying not to put too much pressure because I still have several more layers I want to add. Okay, so that was nice and quick. I'm also going to do the same with the 288 to get some of those green tones in there as soon as I got this piece of hair. Okay, and now I have the 157, which I'm really going to get in there for the shadows, the darkest parts. Now the goal is to build up to that same richness that we have over here. I'm going to skip the 176. I'm going to go straight to 365. And now I have 155. And the 288. Okay, now I'm back at 157. And I'm really going to push this one in now. This is 365. I think this is going to be the last pass of everything. On 55. $288. Yeah, I think that's starting to feel like it was colored at the same time. I'm going to do one final pass of the 175. I'm going to call it good. I really want to make sure those deep tones are there. Keep hitting my head on the camera. Yeah, perfect. Hello, friend. Welcome. I just tried to roll my table away. Okay, so I just have this chunk of hair. And we'll have to make the decision on which direction to go next. So I'm going to start with the 176 again. This is where everything gets a little bit weird because the hair is so dynamic. Now that's the last time I'm going to use the 176. So I'm going to set that aside so I don't have to hold it. I'm going to start with the 360 and hit all of those same spots. We've got two different things going on right now. We've got the reflection, but we've also got the fact that the physical Little Mermaid is actually intertwining with her reflection. Okay, so now I've got 155. I'm going to go ahead and hit the whole area with. Might actually bring out the 176 more than I thought. Hold on. Yeah, because we gotta reshade in some of this hair. Might bring the orange back out. I think I did that originally. Then we want the 288. Add some green in there. Yeah, I might have to pop that orange out. Okay, so now I have the 157, which is our darkest. So I'm really going to start defining shadow points. Start tightening up all the different levels. Okay, now I'm back at the 365. Switched over to the 155. And I need a layer of 288 again to bring that green back. I'm gonna color it over some of the spines on the shell. Might have to bring some of those back. Where did I put the eraser? Or I need to find 54. There we go. we go. Hello, puppy. Would you like to share the seats? I know. Okay, Albie Bear. There you go. I think that's pretty decently done. Yeah. Okay, so I have had. Wow. Okay. What I was trying to say is I'm leaning towards the red tones for her eyes. So we do have the light red, which is the 54 that I just used. It's kind of orangish, but I like it. Ooh, sorry, didn't mean to hit the camera. And then 93 is mahogany, so that'll probably be my dark color. Have this 117. The question is that going to be too orange? Yeah, that leans too orange. So I do want to find a red that might be good. That works with these two colors. That's the color we have right now. We have something in the brown tones that might, because I don't know if I want to do like bright red. Maybe I do, because I think I want the Little Mermaid's eyes to be green. So the opposite of green is obviously red. So if I lean into like red, then I can go 219. Let's see. 219 is deep scarlet red, so I think that'll be good. I do need to give it a quick sharpen. And that, of course, is in the Polychromos. Yeah. Okay. And then I'll flip it over and I'll do the mermaid's eyes so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Yeah, Albus is a little bit of a loose cannon. You never know where he's going to end up. He's sitting behind me on the chair right now. Okay, so I want to do the darker tones first. I went from 0 to 100 very quickly once I added that 219. Oh goodness, just broke the tip. Only a little bit terrifying. It's like staring into your soul right now. Okay, so if we have those for the reflections eyes, we definitely want the 278. Got the 288. And then we can find a good green. Because I do like reusing colors that I already have. So if we go over to the green section, this is the blue greens. This is the green blues, and this is the greens. Doo -doo -doo. It's like, do I want to stay in those foresty colors? Because then I could do maybe something like 266. And that's permanent green. Okay, I think all of these need sharpened too. green doesn't show up nearly as vibrant, excuse me, vibrant on camera as the red does. But I promise you, it's pretty vivid. Set those aside. The real question is, what part do I want to do next? Because I honestly didn't think I was going to do all of that as quickly as I did. So if pink is between red and purple, it would be green and orange. What color is between green and orange? No, I mean between green and yellow. You get some of those. Sorry, that was clear out of nowhere. Because if I'm doing opposite tones and I'm thinking about doing a fair-skinned mermaid, you've got some of those peachy tones. I'm trying to think of what the opposite on the color wheel of those peachy tones are, and I believe you start hitting into those like yellow-green colors, if I'm thinking about this correctly. So we might hit some of those like moss colors for her reflection. It's going to end up being pretty dark. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I think we're gonna go for some of those like sagey colors. The real question is, how is that gonna end up looking against that hair? And if it clashes, I guess that's okay, because the whole point of the reflection is to be a little bit disorientating. I can definitely bring the fur green back in as the deeper tones, and that might connect some of the pieces. But I am thinking I don't want to go chartreuse simply because I think that would be too vivid. And I'm trying to keep the reflection darker. And I think if you end up adding chartreuse into all the other color palette that's going on, it's going to just end up looking like weird and murky in a way that I really don't want it to. I'm wondering if pull in maybe 290 and maybe 198. 290, 198. $198. So 198, I don't think I'm going to use a ton of, but it'd be good for some of the lighter areas. Okay, so then I need to pull those out. $98 is olive yellow, and $290 is moss green. I might pull some of the blues over just so it still looks like it's in the water. And that's why I didn't want to do a more chartreusey color. But I'm going to start with these three. And weirdly enough, I decided to do the skin of the reflection first. And I am starting with the darker color first, so I'm going to work from the bottom to the top. The good news is this might actually be the more forgiving side of the two faces because there's already so many textures involved. I'm actually going to switch to the light color real quick so I can just quickly hit the areas where I want those highlights. Kind of just acting like I'm putting makeup on her face. And it's gonna look really weird for a hot second. Okay, and then I'm gonna go over everything with the 290. Starting to look a little bit like the swamp thing. That is freaking terrifying, is what it is. I'm going to pull in the 157 and the 176. Just to start adding some depth. I don't know why it's making me so excited that it's so freaking creepy. I am a bit weird, let me tell you. Um, I was using the fur green. No wonder it was too green. Okay, I was, when I thought I was using the 278, I was actually using the 288. I have since put that back. I was like, this is feeling too blue. Like, how many colors can we get into one face? A lot, let me tell you. It's probably good that I ended up using the 288 at the beginning because, like I said, it makes it feel like it's still under the blue or on the blue tone of the water. It's just honestly not what I had originally intended to do. So there is a little bit more blue in her skin tone. I did. I look up and I see what it looks like in the camera, and it's just making my little monster heart happy. Okay, I'm going to do a quick pass. Probably with both the 365 and the 155. But I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure on anything. I mean, this is burnished in pretty hard anyways. And I'm going in the direction that the water is so you still have some of that movement of the water. Ooh. Be careful with your head, pup. Okay. You ready for this? Oh, my pencils are now in the way. That is where the reflection is sitting. Yeah, there's definitely a monster-like quality to her right now. I think do want to add a bit of this is the 278. And then I want the fur green. Hmm. It's a start. It's definitely not at the finished state of where it is going to be, but I think it is at a good place at the moment. Ah, dang it. Did not intend to drop that, but here we are. Okay, I need to stop fiddling before I do something that I regret. Get my pencil. It's just, oh, and I definitely broke the tip off of that. Okay. I'll have to find that tip somewhere. Probably rolled under the desk. Not important. But I think that is all I'm going to do today because I'm afraid if I start anything else, I won't have time to finish it. And I don't necessarily want to get stuck in the middle of something. welcome. I didn't see you come in. Okay. This is where I'm going to stop. I think next time we'll get back to the Little Mermaid and we'll flush out her skin tones and start working on her headpiece. And then once I've got kind of the base of that headpiece down, we'll figure out what the reflection looks like. And in theory, after that is done, it's just a matter of coloring in the water. That's how I'm kind of seeing this go down. But I do want to thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me today. I wasn't 100% sure how far I would get, but I think it turned out pretty well. I am kind of happy with how creepy that looks right now. It'll be interesting to see once we start getting the definition of her face in how, because right now she looks so flat compared to the reflection. So I think next time we'll start to see those two playing off of each other. I do hope that you guys enjoyed the stream and that you have, I guess, a wonderful rest of your weekend. I hope I will see you guys back here again next time, which should be same time next weekend. So Saturday morning at 11 Central. I'll definitely put out a reminder so that you can be notified when that happens. So if you aren't subscribed, feel free to subscribe so you can get that set up. Otherwise, I always try to put out a notification on all of my social medias that I am about to go live. So you can follow me over there as well. But I'm going to let you guys go. I want to thank you guys so much for being here with me. It just totally makes my day. And I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.